Welcome to Unit 12 of EDSE 512. Congratulations on reaching our 12th and final unit in this course. You will notice that the only assignment for grading in this unit is a discussion, so congratulations on wrapping up all of the case study components. You should all have feedback and scoring within the grade book. Make sure that you review those comments within Canvas for some additional information, and any questions, please direct them my way. I'm more than happy to chat with you, so feel free to contact me via email and we can get that scheduled. So for Unit 12, we'll also be discussing Iep Implementation. Please remember that the final date of the course is the final deadline and no late work can be passed on after that time. So it's important that everything gets in and that we get those discussion posts made on time. So you'll see the deadline for initial response here, and then the final day of the unit, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard, and that will be the response deadline to others. So you'll see that there are some additional resources included here in Unit 12. There is a lecture PowerPoint, so I would encourage you to review that, and an IRIS module. This is a module on providing instructional support, facilitating the mastery of new skills. I was really impressed by the way that some of you integrated IRIS content into your case study submissions for the previous assignments, particularly for Part 4. Great work on this. It's wonderful to see that people are using these IRIS modules and enjoying the information. So this one particularly will focus on scaffolding and modeling. There was a focus on modeling in the case study Part 4 assignment, so this is a good way to conclude in that, just gather a little bit more information as we wrap up our course. And then here we have data-based individualization. So obviously we're collecting data on how a student is doing. We want to identify the particular problem going on, whatever the lagging skill or the issue may be, the deficit, and that could be academic, or some others may be involved in behavior intervention planning, etc. That's a whole nother course, but social emotional learning is also very important. Behavior is important. So keep in mind, we're just looking for the skill deficit. And so if you are taking classes like those in the future, you'll get an opportunity to apply those concepts on the more behavioral or social emotional side. So we need to identify the problem, gather data for the baseline. This needs to be comprehensive and across settings. Then we'll need to set a clear goal, and we've worked very hard on goal setting in this course. That SMART goal, the measurable goal that has that data point. We want to see numbers in there. What are we looking to see for growth, and by when, to determine that we're successful in our intervention and the student is demonstrating adequate and reasonable progress. And then the final part is that progress monitoring. And it's hard as a teacher to keep up with progress monitoring. The schedule gets full very quickly and there are a lot of kids. So make sure you've got a good plan in place as you're doing that. That could be an electronic document on a drive. It could be a physical binder. If you're working with EAs or paraeducators, that they might be helpful in gathering some information and doing some assessment worksheets, for instance, providing those to students as well, or quizzes, whatever kinds of probes you are designing. But you will want to do that at regular intervals and make sure that you've got a clear plan in place when you write and finalize the IEP, so that you are continuing to progress monitor to make sure that we're on the right track and that we don't need to come back to the drawing board and try something new. More IRIS information, a couple other articles for you, and an overview on progress monitoring. So this is a PDF document you can pull up, and this will give you some more information. This is a pretty recently written document regarding progress monitoring. So I would encourage you to look at this. This focuses on Tier 2 and Tier 3, so it will be quite relevant for progress monitoring in special education in particular. More tools. So there is a behavior one here. Again, behavior, that's a whole different course, but you can start to explore it. And these charts are linked here so that you can develop them, adapt them. If you need something different, you can always build your own based on this content. But the Center on Intensive Intervention has some really great resource options for progress monitoring. And you can search by grade level or by content area. See what is evidence-based, and you can click on these different tabs as well, particularly if you want to compare some tools. It's kind of just a fun resource to browse both for the academics and for the behavior. Again, optional. You can always adapt and develop these in the way that works best for you, but you'll see here listed several other options. Graphing data, I made some comments about that in case study part 4 for some people about progress monitoring, a little bit of detail regarding the visual depiction of data. This can work really well to help other providers, general education teachers, the student as applicable, as well as parents and or guardians to understand what kind of growth is taking place. A visual is a great way for us to track and make sure that we are all going in the right direction. Here's another article that's provided to you for your review. So just take some time to look over these resources. This is a focus on electronic progress monitoring in particular, and the focus of this article is on IEP goals. So that can be quite helpful. You'll see a lot of different terminology in there and some options for gathering that data. Another article regarding technology and progress monitoring, perhaps now more important than ever, especially because many of us are working in either hybrid or remote learning settings. So we really need to be able to use that technology and that data and make it work for us and work a little bit smarter, not harder, so to speak. Many people like to use forms to gather data, progress monitoring, or the Drive, Excel spreadsheets. Here's an article regarding assistive technology as an option to support students. And those can be used assistive technology in either big or small ways. Doesn't have to be expensive. So the article will give some examples of that. More websites for you to review. Universal Design for Learning. We can never learn enough about that. And with that, we'll see linked applied technology as well as the power of digital games for education. We know that many students across grade levels really enjoy games. And so that's a good way to integrate academic content and make it fun for them. And this is our final assignment, our discussion board. So you're looking through your readings, the readings from this week, previous readings, and any other resources, even if they're not provided in this course. We'll want to just answer these questions. So they're listed here. This is a pretty straightforward discussion. And please just share your final thoughts. We want to hear from you and know where you stand in completing this course and how the experience has been. So we appreciate your feedback also. And congratulations! Thank you for a great semester. Have a beautiful break, and thank you for all of your hard work.